Now, the first pictures of Prince George have been released, and it doesn't matter what paper you pick up today, pretty much that's what you'll find on the front page. In fact, many of the front pages dominated by entire full page pictures of Prince George, and quite a lot of these photographs have been taken by family members, like by Kate's dad and stuff like that, so they really are the first official photos, which of course normally come from professional photographers, but these are also the first official family photos, I suppose you could say, because there's a lot of family involvement in how they've been taken. And many of them show Kate and William arm in arm, and the baby and the dog, actually, often on quite a lot of the pictures too, so they really are a picture of the family, the mum and dad and the two children, because they certainly treat the dog a bit like a child on the photographs. So what do you make of them if you're looking at those photographs today? They're certainly quite intimate, aren't they? And I think the light's quite nice on them. There's quite a sort of shady spot in the garden of the family home in Berkshire, Bucklebury in Berkshire, where these pictures were actually taken. Well, Sarah Wilkes from Sarah Wilkes Photography in Farndon specialises in portraits of newborns. Hello, Sarah. Morning to you.
Morning. Hiya, how you doing?
I'm all right, yeah. So you've been looking at these pictures. What do you make of them?
Hi, well, they're a typical newborn family photo, really.
What do you like about them, then? What are the plus sides?
Well, it's an intimate moment, isn't it, that's been captured, which is really nice. Speaking from a professional point of view, I can only see two photographs at the moment, one that was taken with their dogs as well. Professionally wise, the lighting could have been better because we've got lighting cutting straight across their heads, and poor Tilly, the little dog's being half cut out of the photograph.
Yes, now one of the dogs is quite definitely there, their dog, if you like, quite definitely there, but I think it's the family dog that's sort of lurking in the background,
yes,
isn't it?
Tilly, the golden retriever.
Yeah, so it's like, almost like Tilly's been edited out.
Yeah, bless
some of these pictures. So I see what you mean about the light. I mean, Prince William's got a very sort of bright spot on his forehead, hasn't he?
He has, it's blown, but on the other photograph where they're standing up, where it's just the three of them, the lighting's quite nice, we've got backlighting, and we don't have that blown piece across his forehead, and it just would have benefited a little from maybe a reflector or something to bounce the light back into their faces and bring out their eyes more.
How many people really have a reflector hanging around?
Yeah, of course.
Although I suppose you could use something else, could you? You know, as a photographer, have you found other things like, would a silver tray work or something like that?
Yeah, anything like that, big white bed sheet.
That would work too, would it?
It would, yes.
Right, so there's an option for budding photographers. Strip the beds, and there you go. So this, I mean, the idea of backlighting, which is what you were describing there, what that means is the sun's sort of behind them, isn't it, rather than shining on them?
It creates a halo behind them, and you can see it around Kate's hair.
Do you like that kind of thing?
I do, I love it, yeah. Yeah.
So that's a good thing?
Yes,
okay.
It is.
I reckon of all of the family on the photo, it's the dog Lupo that looks the best.
Yeah, with his tongue sticking out.
He looks just fantastic, doesn't he? He looks
brilliant.
like he's posing for the picture. He looks very happy. He's perfectly in focus. So of all of them, I think he looks the best. So if you were to give them some tips before they did this, and maybe, you know, for other people who want to take that perfect family portrait with a newborn, what would you recommend? What kind of thing?
Other than coming to a professional photographer.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
I'm going to get that in.
I mean, some tips for doing it at home. But obviously, yes, they could come to somebody like you.
In the shade with the light behind them, and again, of course, if they could have the reflector that's bouncing the light back into the faces is a plus. Watch out for dappled light, though, otherwise you get funny patches of light across the subjects.
Yeah. What about what the baby's wearing?
Well, it's just wrapped in a white shawl, a white blanket, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously, you've got to keep babies quite warm during their early years, early days. So I don't think they could have worn anything more, really.
Yeah, and of course, the reason I mentioned that is because that's a Nottinghamshire product. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, right, is it?
It was made by G.H. Hurt in Chilwell. It's the same shawl that he was wrapped in when he came out of hospital.
Oh, lovely.
So a bit of a Nottinghamshire connection.
Right.
So yeah, some good top tips. Do you find people do want to still have those studio portraits, though, or are they increasingly asking you as a photographer to do stuff outside?
No, I'm purely studio-based, so all I do is shoot in the studio, very posed pictures, yes.
I ask that because obviously in the past many birth photos with the royals have been studio pictures, haven't they? And these are very different because they're outdoors.
Yeah. Well, they're more relaxed, aren't they? They're a lot more intimate than the posed.
Yeah.
ones.
You're not going to branch out then and do some outdoor stuff?
Actually, I used to, and I've gone the other way.
Have you?
Yes.
Why? Why is the studio better for you?
I prefer it. The light's more controlled.
Right.
So I like to have a bit of control in there where I can predict what's going to happen. When you've got natural light, it's not very predictable. And then, of course, the Great British weather.
Yes, there is that one, isn't there?
Yes.
All right, Sarah, good to talk to you. Thank you for that. Sarah Wilkes from Sarah Wilkes Photography in Farndon, who's obviously used to taking pictures of newborns, with a few of her thoughts about those royal baby official photos which have been released today. Now.